What is going on, brothers and sisters? Eric Rosen here, your internal strength coach, here to show you how to overcome your greatest challenges so you can shine your brightest light. It is Thursday, December 20th, 2018. Thank you for being here. Continuing on with the 14-day health and fitness series. Today we're going to be talking about the breath, your breath. This came to me like instantly today when I asked, okay, what should I talk about today? And I noticed just how terrible my breathing was today. Um, like concentrating on work, a lot of times I won't breathe very well. I'll notice that I'm like kind of like holding my breath and kind of tensing up because I'm really focused on the outcome of like finishing an activity. So rather than just like gracefully moving through the activity, moving through the work, trusting that, my ability to complete the task, trusting that it's going to get done. Holding the breath is kind of a way of like tensing up, like, oh my God, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. So where does the breath play a factor in your health and fitness? Well, let's just break it down with like the fitness, the dieting, the gym aspect of it. If you're not in a relaxed state when you go to eat your food, you're not going to digest your food very well, okay? There's a thing called the fight or flight response where if your body is detecting that you're in a stressful state, it's going to be pushing all of its energy, all of its resources towards what it perceives as whatever danger it is, whatever stressor that you have in your life, whether that's getting your to-do list on, paying your bills, are the kids gonna leave you alone, stop whining, whatever it is. And so that takes away from these like more relaxed resources, this more, feminine resources, really, like relaxation and eating is a feminine characteristic of, just kicking back and enjoying and receiving the nourishment of life, which is, of course, food. And therefore, it's just your body's got adrenaline pumping in it, and it's just overall it's just not a good situation for your stomach. So from the gym aspect of it, notice that obviously your breathing's going to be increased when you're lifting weights, when you're doing cardio, like whatever your exercise routine is. So if you've been holding your breath all day, and I say that obviously figuratively, but if you're not breathing well throughout the day and then you get into this place where now you've got to like breathe fast, again, you've kind of already been stressing yourself out throughout the day, and then exercise is meant to be like a healthy form of stress, meaning like you put your body under stress for an hour or less, and then it's over with and you recover. But think about it, if you're spending, whatever, 14, 15 hours a day, well, I guess it would be more like 16 hours or more a day, and you're spending a lot of that in like the stressful state where you're not breathing well, and then you add that on top of it, your body's just constantly going to be in this pattern of being stressed out in this fight or flight mode, and it's just overall, it's just going to wreak havoc on your body. So, I guess that kind of ties into everything. I wanted to focus on the gym aspect of it and the dying aspect of it. But when you think about it, breath is the thing that's going to keep you centered, throughout your day with whatever it is that you're going through. We don't really realize this, but we really do hold our breath a lot. And not like holding our breath like swimming underwater, holding our breath, but just not taking like healthy, just rhythmic breath. It doesn't always have to be like a deep breathing, but just a very diaphragmatic, belly type breathing. Just something that where your body's relaxed, you're breathing in a relaxed fashion, not like like I'm stressed out. And this happens not only from like your daily stress, but then also from the traumas that have happened to you in your life. You know, like what happens like when something shocks you. It's like, you know, it like takes your breath away. And the thing is that there's those emotions that get stored in the body, in the brain when those traumas happen. And if you don't, you know, go through the whole process of releasing that trauma, of releasing those emotions, there's like kind of that's already, it's kind of like the foundation like for chronic stress is traumas. And so then you've got the foundation of like the traumas, and then you start building on the daily you know, stressors. And that's how people just one day go, I don't know what happened. It's like one day I felt fine, and the next, and one day I just woke up and I didn't feel like getting out of bed. Like there's stories like that about people that were always considered healthy, and then all of a sudden their body just like gives out on them. So, you know, this is the reason why this is important, besides the obvious fact that I mean it's necessary for you to stay alive, but this is something that anybody can do, right? Like I'll sit there and I'll talk about buying organic food, I'll talk about going to the gym, I'll talk about just things you can do with your lifestyle that require time, you know, resources like money. I'll talk about spiritual concepts that might sometimes just be like, I don't care about this, or it's just like I don't know what he's saying. Breathing is something anybody can do, and it's something that everybody should be doing. Um, I it is going to be a huge focal point for me going forward. Like definitely going to be on the good old New Year's Eve resolution 2019 catalog for me. Um, Specifically doing breath work, which is just how I would describe it is like a modified intense breathing aspect, where you're not only able to get back in touch with pumping a lot of oxygen into your body and um, you know, really just, I would describe it as almost like reversing the process of like holding your breath so much, and then in turn it can bring up these traumas that have like been stored with you too. And honestly, this could even be like the trauma that happened last week. You know, this doesn't have to be like, when we say traumas, it doesn't have to be like some childhood thing or something that was like really crazy. It could just be, you know, when someone pulled out in front of you and you had to like slam on the brakes going 50 miles an hour, and it scared the shit out of you, you know, and your adrenaline like was pumping, and then you got a phone call right afterwards or something, and you're like talking to the person like, oh my god, you won't believe what just happened. And it's like you keep moving, you just move on to like the next thing that's going on in your life, the next activity, and you don't actually set aside that time to just like decompress and just like let that shit go. I heard this somewhere, I think it was from, yeah, so this was actually from one of my mentors who teaches the tapping, the EFT that I've talked about before, and it was really great. She was talking to my son actually about tapping, and she mentioned how animals in the wild, like when they suffer like some form of like traumatic thing, like if they fight with another animal or something like that, they'll like shake and like convulse like after it's over. And that's like a way of just like releasing like all that just traumatic stuff that's like getting stored in the body. It's like, no, I'm getting rid of this shit. I'm getting rid of this shit. And in fact, that's, you know, another way to do it. They can be combined with the breath, you know, for releasing traumas. By the way, it's called trauma release exercises or trauma releasing exercises. I may have mentioned that before. But I mean, that's what I got for you guys today. It was just kind of an off the cuff talk about breathing, just because it's it's crucial. It's what I've noticed lately is it's like it doesn't matter what I learn, what I read, what I do in the gym, what I eat. It's like if you're walking around holding your breath, you're just it's like you're not allowing life to flow through you. So get breathing. And it's so easy too. So it's like, what's the action item? It's simply just becoming aware that you're not breathing in the first place so you can start breathing. I don't have to like tell you anything special, like any type of um, specific way to breathe, because there are different ways of like modifying your breath work being one of the most more extreme versions. But that's something you would set aside time for, just like you would set aside time for like meditation or a workout. But simply just becoming aware of the fact that you're not breathing and allowing yourself to calm down and like take a few breaths and tell yourself like whatever it is that's like causing you to hold your breath, getting that to-do list done, getting your work done. Um, the this is where anxiety comes up from worrying about future events, like what's coming up on the horizon, even if it's 15 minutes, an hour from now. Just knowing that whatever it is, like checking in and being like, this thing that I'm holding my breath over, it's not going to kill me. Like sometimes you got to zoom out and like be like, is this really worth me getting stressed out over holding my breath over? Like kind of doing some fact checking, like what's the worst thing that can happen? And everybody's at a different point for their understanding of that, from that just evolution of perspective. Like some people might really still think that it's the end of the world if they do something that's embarrassing, like putting videos out almost every day and just talking about shit. um, but alas, that's what I got for you guys today. I'll come at you with some more material tomorrow. All right, you guys take care.